All right, I think we're live.
It's
Hey.
official. We are live on Thursday.
Oh,
But we have to put a disclaimer in.
it's been a journey.
Ah! Oh my God. So we're using a third-party software, and I know we don't want to get into all this, but we have to because something may happen as we go along in this video, right?
Yes.
So
Major technical difficulties.
we're
The whole
talking
system
major.
shut down on us 2 minutes ago. So we literally just put all of our assets back in here, and we're really hoping that they stay here so we can share them with all of you.
But we need to preface it. When we set this live video up, we wanted to share other video content of us being on Grand Turk and what to look for and what it's all about. Right now, everything looks like it's going to work.
Let's
But
fingers
the
crossed.
disclaimer is something can go south on us real quick. We use a third party right now. It's called StreamYard, and it was shut down today, like shut down. And
Yes.
we lost all our assets that we put into our live video. But I think we're good now.
I hope so.
I think we're good.
All right, let me get some of my notes here. So
We're done with the disclaimer.
we're done with a little bit of a disclaimer. Oh, Kelly, DizRN, thank you for joining us. Thankfully, you telling us that we see us as well. That's
You
amazing.
can hear us and see us. That's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. So far, it's working.
Yes. And like we said, we've had some technical difficulties. So we just want to say, those of you that have jumped on, thank you for joining us. This is our first ever Thirsty
Series.
Thursday series. We're hoping that this comes live to you as often as we possibly can on a Thursday, hence the Thirsty Thursday. And while we are calling it Thirsty Thursday, it doesn't mean that you're ready for a drink, although Michael might have a cocktail or two. I can't say that he won't. But really, we're talking about being thirsty for some knowledge, whether that's about cruising, packing hacks,
Cruise ports,
cruise ports.
which today we're talking about a cruise port.
We're talking about Grand Turk because we did promote.
Exactly.
But can we get to what today is all about?
Well, today is all about Grand Turk. And the point of the video is to help any passengers or visitors to Grand Turk what to expect. What's your experience most likely going to be like, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Grand Turk is mostly visited by cruise ships, and it is on a
It's part of the Turks and Caicos Islands, and
correct.
Grand Turk is the biggest island. It is 6.5 square miles. I've walked most of that island, but if you look, it's about 650 miles south of Miami, and it's pretty close to Dominican Republic. And it's also known as the Eastern Caribbean.
Yes, even though it is in the Atlantic Ocean, isn't it?
It is in the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. And the cruise port is owned by, we said,
Carnival
correct?
Cruise Line. Carnival
Yes.
Cruise Line owns this cruise port. They own all the buildings. They own the berthing, the docks, if you will. And more than likely, you will be on a Carnival ship.
Yep.
More than likely, you'll be on a Carnival ship or a Carnival brand.
Corporation,
Yeah,
correct.
it falls
So
under the corporate umbrella.
I was just going to say, so we saw this is, we were on, I believe, the Mardi Gras at the time for this, and we saw the Sky Princess, I believe,
Yeah, it was a Sky
coming
Princess.
in. So usually there's two
Two ships.
ships that can come into port at the same time, and it is on the same dock. So that's great, and it's a really great position to be in.
Keep in mind, it's not just Carnival ships. On occasion, you will see other cruise lines there. They're just paying a royalty or a port fee to Carnival direct. Great business decision, I'll tell you that, on Carnival's part.
Yeah, we have been to Grand Turk on many occasions. We actually, let's hold on for 1 second here. We have been to Grand Turk many times, and usually we're with some family and friends, and they all love it because it's a real easy port to be in.
You walk right off the ship. You're not on a tender. If you're a first-time cruiser and you're going to Grand Turk, you are going to have an amazing time. If you are an experienced cruiser, you already know all the ropes. I'm guessing you already know all the ropes in regards to Grand Turk. It's very easy. Um, it's a great port.
Yeah, and the one thing that's nice for most people about this is the accessibility of being literally right there in the port.
Yeah, you just literally walk off the ship. You're on the dock, and you walk down the dock, and the first thing you're gonna hit will be
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think I have
what do you have?
some stuff to show about
Oh,
this.
here we go.
Yeah, so there's no tender involved. There is strictly a dock. As you can see, there are two ships in port right here, and we're going to just walk down the port. It's a great opportunity to get those photos right underneath the names.
Big time.
Right?
Big time.
And as you walk down, there's beach on both sides and this infamous Grand Turk sign, which is amazing. Now I'm going to pause right here and just give you a little bit of a brief highlight. And we're going to go over this in more detail. But as you walk down, majority of the beach area where most people sit and hang out and go into the water is on the left side of the port as you come down. This is a great spot and very close to Margaritaville, has some free loungers. It's not the best area to go into the water.
If you're going into the water. If you're on the beach, the sand is soft.
Yes.
And we'll get into that.
Exactly.
We'll get into that.
We're going to
show you that.
But this is a great area. It's not necessarily as an easy an entrance as further down we will show you. But this has some great snorkeling ability if you want to get in there and you have a snorkeling mask and want to gonna.
And when you're like Andrea said, when you're coming down the pier, you not only have great photo moments with the ships right above you, but you have great photo moments walking along the pier and
so
walking into.
I was just going to say
we're talking about photos.
We're talking about photos, and I guess we're going to go into one of Michael's favorite photos to take at the end of this pier, and that is his infamous cannon shot.
That's my cannon shot. No matter where we go.
That's right.
So your first part, you're going to walk through duty free.
Yes. So you're going to walk through this area. Now you'll notice that these people leaving are actually going to be showing their sign and sail card in this case, or your medallion if you're on a medallion class of ship, to the security guard here. That's your way to get back on the ship. So you want to make sure you bring that with you. But this is also a great location. You have to walk through it anyways. If you forgot any few last minute essentials, tanning lotions, you want to get your alcohol,
perfume, sail. But
yeah.
That's their gimmick to get you in here. So we're actually walking through duty free into the port area.
All right, so this is your first look at the port area. Now, when you arrive here, if you just want to walk around and do some shopping, everything is to the left and the right and directly in front of you. Anything that you want or need. If you are on a ship excursion, if your ticket that comes to you says that you're going to meet on the ship, you'll meet there. Otherwise, if they're later in the afternoon, a lot of times you'll meet in this area and they'll have big signs showing you where to go to.
Exactly.
So if you're on a ship excursion, you might see them here as well.
And we're going to talk about excursions.
We are.
As we go further into the video.
This also, sometimes there's a few not vendors, what am I looking for? Suppliers of excursions here as well. So sometimes you'll see that. But we're actually going to go out and go to the right. To the left is Margaritaville and the pool, but we're going to go there left.
But we're going to show you the whole port area, but we're going to go right.
To the right, exactly. So port area to the right. Again, lots of shopping.
Most of your Caribbean ports have Ron John, Diamonds International, FE. What other?
All kinds of T-shirts, shots,
yeah.
glasses.
But what's great about this island? Look at the shot of the palm trees in the ships there.
Yeah. So this is a great area here. I'll just give it a quick pause. So this is a great shaded area. So these lounges, there's not a lot of loungers in this area, but it is. They're free and they're under palm trees and it's a beautiful view of the ships. Now getting into the water here is a little tricky. It's down a little bit of a steep embankment and into the water. And while it's difficult to get in, if you can swim over some of those rocky spots, and when I say rocky, I really mean
ouch, 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 ouch. When you're walking in the water, ouch, ouch. Oh yes.
Yeah, think like big coral slabs. So they are sharp, they are jagged, they're not comfortable. So bring your water shoes, and if you can actually swim over them, you can get out even further, and you can even stand on some of these big boulders and everything else, and it makes for a great shot. Look at that
Look at
beautiful
that.
photo, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
And then, as you'll see, and Michael will zoom in on the camera here,
That's
I was
Andrea.
out. Yes, Annie and Annie's with me. We're out swimming in the water.
Annie's a friend of ours, and they went on. They happened to go on a cruise with us, and Andrea and Annie went out there swimming right next to the ship.
That's right.
Oh,
So, in the same area, beachside massages. So, right there, that tent is a beautiful beachside massages. You can make appointments ahead of time, or you can just do a little walk in. We walked in, or I
we
walked in.
Yeah. We
and
were
this
the
was-
first ones off the ship, and Joel was right there. He's a
Yes.
masseuse, and he's giving Andrea a massage there. And look at the view. Look at the backdrop. Imagine showing up to work every day with that view.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say the massage itself was more of a relaxing massage and not a deep tissue massage. So even though I like a strong massage, it was a little bit light. The beached whale. This is the bar over in the same side, right after the massage.
They're famous for their local food and their local cocktails, rum punches, and their vibe is pretty cool. It's laid back vibe. It's more like an island laid back.
Souvenirs
vibe.
There, yes.
Yeah, it's and all of these chairs. There's tons of chairs there.
Yeah, so
Lounge
let's
chairs.
just pause right a second here. There's a lot of lounge chairs in this area, but it is, as Michael said, a quieter side. We're going to show you the other side of the port area, which is the Margaritaville. Similar, but this area here has a lot of lounge chairs, and it's great for sunbathing and relaxing, beautiful scenery. But the coast here is very rocky, as you see that there's like a lot of cliffs. It's great for photos, and you got your beached whale statue, which has a little bit of overgrown shrubbery the last time we were there. So there's a better shot of it. But look at those two ships.
Great views from there.
Exactly. All right. In this same area, there's also a NASA splashdown.
Yeah.
This was where John Glenn
That's right.
orbited the Earth.
That's right. And he was on, what was it, the Friendship 7?
Friendship 7, I think, is what my notes say here. I can't remember. 7.
And it splashed down right off the coast of Grand Turk, and it's a pretty memorable experience for the islanders. And they have this exhibit here, which is pretty cool. If you got kids, you bring them over there. Some adults may be into it. I mean, it's great information and
a little bit of a history lesson there.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of reading to do, but photos. And this nice little statue if you want to take a photo. But it's really great. So that's what's all over onto, as I said, out of the port area to the right.
It's in the port area.
Correct.
To the right.
Correct. If you went out of the duty-free shop and went straight across, you're going to reach the taxi stand station. That's this big structure here, and you can get under cover while you wait for a taxi. It'll take you anywhere on the ship, on the island you would like to go. You can also get a taxi tour for the day. But then also
there's a tram, which will do we have footage in here of the tram?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But you can get a tram. You could get your taxis and your golf carts here.
Yes, and I was just going to say, you can also, this right here is a car rental place. So I'm not sure.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, not many people, but getting a golf cart was the way that we have done it before.
Absolutely.
The island's really small. You don't need much.
6.9 miles.
Exactly.
Square. So.
All right. So now we're still in the port area.
Correct.
Let's take us back to a moment. We're going to go back to the duty free, and we're going to exit. And this time we're going to go left.
To the left.
Exactly. This is the Margarita Pool Restaurant Bar. And this is a party in itself.
Oh, yeah. Margaritaville is definitely a party all by itself. There's a stark contrast between the Beached Whale and Margaritaville. Margaritaville has a a DJ that is full of life and live. There she is right there. I love that girl. I really do. And I do venture over there once in a while. They got a swim up bar. What about the food?
I was going to say there's a swim up bar. It's really easy to get to. There's other bars that and restaurants that are undercover if you don't want to. And look at those nachos. I have to say these nachos are unbelievable. This is a to-go container, but we've had them in the restaurant.
We've had them in the restaurant, and they are stacked. I mean, they do a great job with that.
Yes, exactly. And I'm curious if anybody else has ever had any of the food here at the. I think we've had chicken wings before as well.
We have had chicken
buffalo wings.
Yeah. But the nachos are definitely
a good enough item to share. Absolutely. Let's put it that way. There's also these loungers with cooler type things. I don't know if those are for rental, but this is also on the other side where's the flow rider. So this is another thing that I have not really ever done before, and I'm not sure if anyone else has.
Well, let's talk about that. The flow rider. Has anyone done the actual flow rider? I've seen people do it. Most of the time, it's young people doing the flow rider. To me, I don't know how to swim, so I'm kind of like, there's water and there's a board. I'm probably not going to do it. I know the water's not deep. It's like a moving wave. But I'm curious if you've done that. Let us know down in the comments below.
I would love to see some video footage or a photo or two or something like that. I've seen it done elsewhere, and I have not the coordination to do anything like that. No. All right, we're gonna get over here. Oh, the Carnival Cruise Addict. Thanks for joining us.
I saw Chris's Yakety Yak live video, and I had to get into this. We've been having technical difficulties.
I was just going to say, we almost did not make this thing. So thank you for joining. You are not as late as we could have been.
Correct.
So we're just going over. We're in Margaritaville, and we're going to head out of the pool area to the Margarita beach side. So this area are a bunch of loungers. They are free, but it is a first come, first serve, and they get jam-packed. There's always people over here. So a lot of times we don't stay here. As I mentioned before, the coast here is very rocky. You might want to have your water shoes. So we like to walk down the beach a little further. And this here is the beginning of
the locals
beach. So I'm going to pause for a second. So these are additional loungers with umbrellas, and these are for rental. Have we rented here before?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not sure if we have.
Stanley asked a question, when is the busy season? I would say winter, when the whales are migrating. The whales migrate there during the winter.
You know, I'm not sure, because they also get pretty busy in the summertime because the kids are on vacation. So I would say any time that you are cruising when kids are going.
That's a better answer than I could get.
Absolutely.
Stan.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on, Stan.
So these areas here, you can rent from the locals, some chairs and an umbrella.
And you can buy drinks from them. You can buy food.
Yep.
And they also have like floaties and jet skis.
Yes, just down the way right here, you actually see these water sports. There's definitely tubing, rafting. They have jet ski rentals, all kinds of different flotation devices for sure. And they even do some in this area. They'll take out people from excursions that are going on a snorkeling excursion.
Now, the rockiness of the beach there is getting a little bit better the further you keep walking away from that, walking away from the ship. But it's a rocky beach, but the water is clear.
I was just going to say that. So right here, this is an area we have actually mentioned to quite a few people. If you want to get away from the crowds and get to a little bit sandier location, this is at least, you know, a decent walk, but not too far. This is a great little sandy area. You can get in pretty close. As you can see, we're still close to the ship. The ship is just in the background and not far from that other. But if you walk a little further, you're going to get down a little closer to our favorite spot. And that is
one of our favorites, not our favorite. We have many favorites.
We do.
But Jack's
Shack.
That's right. Jack's Shack. And the beach there is not rocky. And
Correct.
When I say beach, going into the water is definitely not rocky. Jack's Shack. That's it.
That's it right here. There's plenty of chairs. Again, these are for purchase.
That's right.
And you get the 2 chairs and an umbrella. I think was like right around $20, maybe $24.
And that's probably subject to change, but when we were there, it was $20. It could be more now, it could be less.
Yes. But you also have this area here where if you want to get some food, you want to get some beverages, you want to arrive by taxi because you don't want to walk.
That's the other thing.
This is a great way to get and just hang out.
Exactly, to Andrea's point, if you don't want to walk along the beach, and say you rented a golf cart, you could drive your golf cart there, or you could rent a taxi and take a taxi there, or you can walk along the road to get there if you don't want to walk around the beach.
That's true. I guess you could. They also have, I just wanted to give a moment, they also have a gift shop. Yeah, so if you want to go in and grab a t-shirt, a magnet, a koozie for your beverage, I think we have probably one of all the above.
I think we do.
Yeah. So we've gone there quite a few times. Shot glasses. Oh, that's typical for Michael, right?
Yeah. Well, we collect the shot glasses. Well, we used to, but we've gotten so many, we kind of backed off on it.
Yeah. So DizRN says she likes the Jack's Shack area.
Yeah.
It's great. This is the pool area.
The
beach area.
Beach in front of Jack's Shack.
As you see, it's got a little bit of a surf though. So you do want to be mindful of that. But it's a lot of fun. The kids enjoy it. The adults enjoy the beverages and the entertainment factor. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. So this is us walking back from Jack Shack.
So when you're at Jack Shack, you're not on the port property. When you're by the locals, you are not on the port property. We're now back on the port property, which starts at Margaritaville.
Yes, and I'm just showing you this because now you can see that those loungers were completely empty. Well, that's because we literally take full advantage of our time in the port area when we are in Grand Turk. It is a really great, it's a great place to be able to walk to and enjoy the day. And the ship's right there and it doesn't take long. So you can go back as early as you might want to.
Or you can max it out like we do, where we usually one or two of the last people getting back on the ship.
As you can see, they have a nice foot washing station for removing all of that sand that you will definitely get.
You will definitely get sand. If you're into the beach, you'll get it.
Yes, exactly. And then, of course, walking back through Margaritaville, there is another souvenir shop. And this is a great place to grab yourself a t-shirt or hang out over here in these nice Adirondack chairs.
We've sat on those Adirondacks. Adirondacks.
Exactly.
They're a pretty cool place to hang out, actually.
Yeah, they are really fun. Yeah. So that's the actual port, right? Are we out of the port yet? We're now out of the port, but should we go back and show a few little fun facts?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's show some fun facts.
All right, so fun facts. Location, we talked about where.
Eastern Caribbean.
And about population is about
4,800.
Okay, and it's English speaking. Why is it English speaking? It is a
British
overseas
territory. British overseas territory. It was coming. And guess what? Their currency is the good old US dollar.
Makes it easy peasy.
Now, if you're coming from anywhere other than the US, you may want to convert to US dollars. If you're on a cruise ship, you may want to come off the ship with small amounts of money, fives, tens, because most of the merchants off of the port area, the locals, deal in cash. Mm-hmm. The weather is tropical. I'm telling you, the weather is amazing. It's usually between 80 and 90. And it's known for its beautiful beaches, which we just showed you. And they have we're going to get into that excursion about the diving. It's pretty amazing.
Yes. So I just want to go back. So the Carnival Cruise Addicts said they used to rent the cabanas. That's interesting that you say that. We were questioning if anyone's ever done it before, and we have not. But I agree. I think it's a little on the pricey side. So
I think that, and as we were putting the video together and we're talking about pricing and prices change, and I'm glad you brought that up, Liz, the price got a little pricey, because I realized no matter what, when you're cruising and you get off the ship, it's tough to find things to do that aren't pricey. But at Grand Turk, You can actually find a lot of stuff to do that's not pricey, other than renting a cabana.
All right. Sounds good. Have here that did you know Grand Turk has some of the best snorkeling spots? In fact, it sits on the edge of a massive underwater wall.
7,000-foot drop. And what they call it is the wall. That's what the term is, the wall.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's
I did
the
not
name.
know
Oh,
that.
yeah. And you can get an excursion that'll take you out there, and you can snorkel out there and you can see it. They also have another excursion that you can go on. I think it's Gibby's area.
Oh,
And
the
you can
stingrays?
swim with the stingrays.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different excursions that you can do here, and the island's pretty small. So there's, in my opinion, there's not a lot of concern about not making it back to the ship if you go with something outside of the cruise ship. Would you agree?
Yeah. And we'll probably talk a little bit more about excursions as we go on, but this here is a, did you know they had a 7-foot wall there?
Exactly. Did you also know that Grand Turk is believed to have been the actual landing spot of Christopher Columbus in 1492?
I didn't know that.
Well, I think there's still a debate about
Is there
it.
still, I can understand why there's still a debate because I didn't even know that.
Oh, we're going to use you
Not
as the
that
benchmark.
Not that I know much of anything, but I know a little bit about Grand Turk, not Christopher Columbus.
And we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, Friendship 7 mission.
The Friendship 7 mission and John Glenn, and that's part of that exhibit not far from the port area on the right. What else do we know?
The lighthouse. It was built in 1852, but it was built in the UK and shipped over to Grand Turk
in pieces
and assembled in Grand Turk, and it still stands today.
Yes, and we actually went over to that lighthouse.
Yeah.
And you can get there by the
tram, the hop on, hop off tram.
Yep.
The hop on, hop off bus, but they call it the tram.
Yes.
You can get there by taxi. You can get there by golf cart.
Yeah.
4-wheeler.
Yes, lots of different ways to get there.
It is the furthest point north on the island. It's quite a ways away. It's 7 miles away, 6.9 miles away from the cruise port.
Yes. All right. Did you know that the island has no rivers or lakes? So the residents rely on water, rainwater, or desalination plants for fresh water.
I'm glad you said that word.
Michael thought they were actually real plants. I said, no.
How do they do that with plants? Oh, you mean factories?
I maybe should have put factories on there.
I get it. I get it now.
Exactly. And then there are wild donkeys and horses
all over the island,
wandering the island.
And they're descendants of the British salt industry way back in the day.
Yes, because there's lots of salt factories. In fact, at one point back in...
They were the salt capital of the world.
Yes.
And you could still see remnants of that when you're walking. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I walked most of the island. I didn't get quite out by the lighthouse, but I was close. And you could see these salt marshes, if you will, or salt ponds, or salt beds. Not that far from the cruise port.
I think at the lighthouse, there's some conversation plaques that say that a lot of the ships shipwrecked on the edge of there.
Right where that lighthouse is.
Yeah. All right. So this is great. I think we took you through the port area. Now let's do a little bit. We have some excursions. Like I said, we did a golf cart once before.
We've done it a couple of times because I've been to this island a few times without Andrea, and I've rented them from 2 different companies. A couple of things I need to tell you about golf carts. Sometimes they break down. Make sure you have your cell phone with you so you can call the company. Make sure you get the company's phone number because they do break down.
Yes, that is true. We saw some people breaking down, but that was John's Bar. We got to hang out there.
If you do go to John's Bar, say hi to Kiki. Kiki's the one over there mixing the rum punch.
She is. So over here, you can see, I think that is the tram.
That's the tram. That's the tram
right there,
bus right there.
In the background. And these donkeys, like we said, they're just hanging around. They walk around. We saw them at the convenience store when we
We've
stopped
seen
there.
them
We saw
everywhere.
them here. They're just chilling out.
Yeah. And the guy right there in the van, he's selling carrots for $1. You give him $1, he'll give you a carrot so you can feed the donkey.
That's true.
Capitalism, I love it.
Yeah. Now you can't go up in this lighthouse. It's just to look at. But there is a bar here, hang out. Like I said, there are some plaques to read. We did learn a little bit of history about the times of the salt fields and things like that. And it's just a beautiful scenic.
Great place to take photos.
Yeah.
Awesome place. Keep in mind, back to the golf carts, if you're taking a golf cart there, pay extra attention to the directions and make sure you have your cell, because there are some signs that point you in one direction and it's really not the right direction. We had to turn around and go back another way.
Yeah.
Which was fine. There's the four-wheelers I was talking about.
That's right. So we pretty much went the same places the four-wheelers went.
That's right.
You know, so it's a small island. You can really see and do just about everything that you want to do. So, all right, let's see. Now, we have showed you a little bit of the port area. We've talked about the history about Grand Turk. We've shown you a few excursions. There are quite a lot more. We are going to do...
We have a list of all of the tour companies, because there's tours you can do where you can get on a boat and it'll take you. There's an actual bar in the ocean at Turks and Caicos. It's on one of the islands. It'll take you out to a bar and you just hang out there on your boat, your rented boat or your excursion. There's parasailing. There's all kinds of stuff.
Water sports. So what we'll do is
we'll put that in the...
We'll put all of this together in a document. We will have it available on our new Facebook group page and on some files so that you can download it. We'll also put it in our YouTube community page so you can download those as well and look at them at your leisure. But we want to do one more thing as part of our Thirsty Thursday series. We do a Thirsty Thursday item of the day, and that could be just about anything, except today it is about a drink.
Do you have the video up there?
I do. We're going to take you right back to Jack Shack, because that's where we had one of our favorite drinks. And not
my favorite.
I was just going to say it's a favorite because it's very tasty.
It's more of your favorite for different reasons.
But it's a favorite because of the just being there.
Yeah.
Just being there and the atmosphere. So let me just show you this little clip.
Sandy Vagina. Never had one before. I wonder if it's gritty. It is gritty. Look. Sandy Vagina. All right. $13 for that. Let's see how that goes. $13. Ay, ay, ay.
So that is a drink at Jack Shack's. It is a sandy vagina. Yes, it is. And reason why I think they call it a sandy vagina.
But before you do that, show them the recipe. You want to show them the recipe?
Yeah, let's show the recipe.
We'll show you the recipe.
So that's interesting.
1.5 shots.
1.5 shots of vanilla vodka,
Yep.
1.5 shots of coconut rum, topped with pineapple juice and served over ice. Now, this came from
Can you see it floating, the sand in the drink? I have duplicated the sandy vagina.
Okay, so we think the sand might be nutmeg. Other thoughts are maybe it's a graham cracker or maybe vanilla bean.
He told me when I was there. Do you have a picture of me? Oh yeah, you did. You already did that.
You do.
So yeah, he told me what it was and I forgot.
You did.
What was the $5?
Oh, this is Carnival Cruise Accent. I bring my old wild donkey. Chris. Thank you so much from the Carnival Cruise Addicts for $5. Cheers. I agree. There is a cheers to be had right here. So thank you.
You're gonna make me cry. I'm serious. Thank you so much.
So
you guys are amazing.
They are. So I want to talk not only about this and the sand and everything else. We think it's pretty good. We put a little nutmeg in there. It's pretty good. But there's another reason why we really enjoy this drink. And it is because it brings us back to a lot of memories of times that we are there. So we want to show you a couple of clips.
That was her cheers. Cheers. This is our friend Kelly. That's what Andrea did friggin' like 8 months ago.
That's right. So that right there, that is our friend Dawn and Diane. And I don't have video footage of when this happened to me.
Oh boy.
But I want to tell you this little story because it's kind of funny. The four of us were hanging out, and it was another late day. We were probably the last people on the beach, and it was just the four of us. And we had been there all day. And I was bringing in some.
Put that up there.
I don't know.
You got to put that up there.
I was getting some more drinks for everybody in the water, and I started walking out towards the water area to give them their drinks, and I got hit by a rogue wave, and I went flipped over backwards, over my head, over my feet.
Sand
I tried to get up, flipped again. I think I tumbled 3 or 4 times. I had sand, like shovels of sand.
Shovels.
all over me, and it was in my hair. It was gritted in my hair. It was quite funny. We laugh about it all the time. And the only saving grace that I thought was that we were the only 4 left on the beach.
Because we were the last ones getting to the ship.
Yes, except for the fact that when we got back on the ship,
someone
came up to me and said, "I saw you from the ship." That was really funny. You got hit by a great big wave. So it was it's one of those drinks that brings me back to that wonderful time with
sandy
the 4
vagina.
of us. Yes. And Kelly, yes, it was you as well. Not quite as bad as me, but it was you.
It was legit bad. She got in the shower, she took her bathing suit, and there was sand everywhere in the shower.
Yes, it was pretty bad. So that was pretty amazing. But I'm going to pull up one more thing here, and then we are going to be closing things out. Sorry, I didn't realize it was not loaded. So let's just load this really quickly. And we want to say thank you for coming in and watching our first Thirsty Thursday.
First episode of Thirsty Thursday
of Grand Turk. And we're going to leave you with this little clip of Michael. Oh, maybe technical difficulties here. Come on. Oh, there it is.
Come on.
Let's take this back.
It's gonna be alright. Sing it. This is a message to you. Sing it. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
All right.
That was at Grand Turk, and the man was playing the guitar there, and he was fantastic.
Yeah, that was at Thanksgiving. They were getting ready for Christmas.
That's right.
So thank you so much. We're really appreciating you kind of going along with us, dealing with all the technical difficulties that we had. And hopefully we will see you soon.
Yeah. And thank you, Carnival Cruise Addicts, for the cheers.
That's right. And I think I'm going to have that sandy vagina right now. I think I deserve it.
She does.
Cheers.
We were definitely stressed out because of the StreamYard being shut down. I mean, down. And we really wanted to present what the port was all about. So on that note, I say ciao for now.
We'll see you soon.